Who is Lucifer going to become? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and today we are here with episode 4 of Lucifer. And yeah, I pose that very question to you. Who is Lucifer going to become? He is changing, and things are going to continue to do so, presumably, as the series goes on. But what kind of character, what kind of person is he going to change into? Because right now it's obvious that he's like changing into someone, from our perspective, better. Someone who's going to, be able to help solve all these murders and crimes. Someone who's going to just connect with people a lot easier and find more of a sense of morality. But what could happen to change that is a big question. Because he's in a very notable state of flux right now to where he could veer off in a completely separate direction if he's not careful. He could go from going down the right path to one thing changing that and then like becoming worse than ever. I don't necessarily think he's going to. I'm just saying it's a possibility of what could happen. So I'm very interested to see how this continues along. Now, as for how this is going to be recorded, so I stated this. I don't remember if it was in this series, but I stated it before with Netflix stuff. With my new OBS, I can't tab the window over as far as it needs to be to properly capture the screen. Because here's the thing. With Netflix, specifically on OBS or Opera, my browser, I need to capture the entire screen instead of the window. Because if I try capturing the window, it won't show up. It will just be a black screen. And it's because OBS and Opera aren't like working together for some reason. They're not like connecting with each other. But because of this, like I said, I need to have a full screen capture. Everything that's on my computer screen. And then I just cut it down to show only that part of things. But while I have it up, that means when I first get it up, the window is going to be up for OBS. So it's going to show part of the OBS as well. And I just thought, it's not that big of a deal. We could just do this. Instead of trying to, go back to using the old OBS version I had. Because the problem with that is that on top of doing that, I would also need to try to recopy the source information to the old files, the old OBS files. Because I updated what the reaction screen looks like in the new OBS. So I would need to copy that into the old one, and it's like that just seems like a lot of work for something that's not even really that big of a deal. So when you get to the reaction, just know it's going to show a little bit of the OBS window for a bit. Not for very long, but yeah. So I don't really have any guesses on where this is going to go. I don't really have any ideas on what they're going to do with this. I just got to tune in and find out. I believe I've said before, I don't really know anything about this series. I don't really have any spoilers. I've heard people praise it, but I've never actually heard people talk about the content of it. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll just have to find out for ourselves. Now, I'm also going to say right off the bat that this is a series that I may need to take a break from at some point, because it is hour-long episodes, pretty much, and on top of that, I could just say double length episodes. On top of that, it seems like it's mostly the same, mostly episodic right now. I'm still enjoying it. It wouldn't be getting dropped, but I might need to like take a break at a point just to like kind of come back into it with a fresh mind and everything. I don't know if that's going to happen yet. So I'm not gonna like say anything for sure, but I'm saying it might be the kind of series where I do need to do that. We will see. We will see, and when and if I feel we need to do that, we will. For now, we're still good though. So let's just get into this. Hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie, or to the movie, to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, as always, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I would say that this episode is best described as Lucifer is confused. This entire episode is just Lucifer absolutely flabbergasted and confused over pretty much everything. Like, the entire time, he has just like this really just lost expression. And it was really funny, actually, seeing just how like kind of out of his element he was, between the fact that he's just not able to affect Chloe in the way that he wants, in the way that he's used to the entire situation with this case, and the fact that he, you know, gets shot and it affects him, which it shouldn't be doing. It's one hell of an interesting day for Lucifer. Meanwhile, we do have this case. I want to see like if I can find what the game I was talking about is called. Just for reference. It was like a very specific game that he played. That Pro Jared played, and others played it too. And again, they mostly played it to make fun of it and look how terrible it was and stuff. I just can't think of what it was called at the moment. It's gonna bother me if I don't find out, so I'm looking here. The problem is scrolling down all of his stuff to try and find it. Because it's not like a new thing. It's older, for sure. It's definitely before that. I believe it's before Detroit Become Human. I know this isn't the most exciting part of these afterthoughts, but I really do want to find this. Because this entire thing with him, with the guy doing this entire, like, this is how you pick up chicks. Super seducer, that's what it was. So it's this game called Super Seducer, where the entire point of the game is it's trying to tell you how to pick up chicks, how to be a player. And the game is super scummy and gross and sexist. And the idea of it is it uses like footage of real people. And the guy who made it is like this like self-help guru type of guy, and he's leading you through these situations. It's like, oh, what do you say here, what do you do? And basically the big gist of it comes down to don't respect women, assert your dominance, you're a man, act like it, shit like that. And it's like it's horrific, it's absolutely terrible. um but it's kind of fun to make fun of. It's kind of entertaining to mock, especially with how bad it like is and how there are people like that in real life. But yeah, this guy, his entire like seminar situation going on very much reminded me of that. It was very excuse me. It was very gross and uncomfortable. And then this situation ends up just being that this girl that he actually did fall in love with is, taking advantage of him because of a terrible situation that he was involved in with her like a couple years back. And she's been like basically getting revenge on him for the past 4 months by planning this entire fake kidnapping and everything. So yeah, pretty interesting in that regard. Um, and the funny thing is, it's like there was the evidence that the kidnapper had to have been at that party, right? And like the brother was there, so it's like when you kind of connect the dots, it all kind of fits together, and I dig that. I dig that kind of came into play. But yeah, it was very investing, and I was definitely like connected the entire time. It went by pretty quickly too. Like when I noticed it was ending, I looked at the time. It's like, wait, it's been like 40 minutes already. Really? On top of that, Chloe is starting to see more of Lucifer's like true side. She saw like the reflection and everything there, but at the same time, shooting him did, you know, work. And in that regard, it's like it's kind of quelled some of her concerns and fears for the moment. Uh, I hope they don't take too long for like her to really like buy into this though. I feel like if it takes too long for this to really come to a head, it's going to it's not going to work as well. It's like this is something that she needs to accept sooner rather than later. Something that she needs to like, be just confident and sure of well before it's truly revealed, or rather like before it's too late. Because if it waits too long, if the series waits too long to have that kind of, not reveal because she already technically knows, but to have that moment of clarity where it's just like she just accepts that he is the devil and truly understands that that is the case. Trying to stretch that out to too long would just be a big mistake, honestly. So I'm hoping that happens at the very least, or at the very most, by the end of the season. Hopefully earlier, but we'll see. Someone is rooming out there. But yeah, this is another really good episode. I liked Lucifer being confused the entire time. It was funny. And I'm very interested to see where this continues to go now that we're really starting to get into the nitty gritty of things. I do think Maze is going to work with Amendiel. I think that's definitely being set up here. And they're probably going to be like the final villains, quote unquote, of season one, where everything's going to kind of come to a head there. But we'll see for sure. So, in the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Lucifer? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.